What does a $1,000 a day mowing crew look like? It's actually very simple. On average, you need 20 lawns at 50 bucks a pop, or if you're charging 60 bucks a pop in your market, maybe 16 lawns. Very, very doable. So again, this video should be very helpful, whether it is just you and a helper out working, or if you have a two-man crew that you've sent out to do some work. $1,000 a day, let's get going. So what I'm looking for when we're trying to get a lot of lawns done is lawns like this. I'm looking for smaller lawns beside each other that don't have sidewalks. They're not corner lots, they're inline lots, and they don't have sidewalks. That's key because that really just speeds you up, especially if you are solo. I know this video is $1,000 a day mowing lawns, but there's a lot that you solo guys can take away from this. Whenever you're focusing your marketing efforts, okay, I would be putting my marketing material and targeting neighborhoods that don't have sidewalks if at all possible. And I know that sounds like it's not that big of a deal, but I tell you what, if you're doing 15 or 20 lawns, the difference between doing 15 or 20 lawns with sidewalks versus those lawns not having sidewalks, it's a big deal over the course of the day. It speeds you up, your margins are better, and it's much easier to execute those jobs. So again, you're not going to say no to a lawn that has sidewalks and big curbs and corner lots. You're going to price those accordingly. And my point being, if you're really focusing on like, hey, how do I get as efficient as possible? You want to be doing smaller lawns, and you want to be looking at minimal obstacles in the lawn. You want minimal trimming. You want minimal sidewalks, okay? All very, very important. Okay, so I'm not going to do an entire video of me just mowing a lawn, but I do want to at least give you a quick rundown of the equipment that I'm using on this lawn. I recently had done a video on why we prefer using stand-on mowers. I'm truly a believer that a stand-on mower in most residential markets, small to medium-sized lawns, that is your ticket. It served us so well. It just has so many perks. So I just wanted to hammer that point home. Like there's a reason that we're using stand-on mowers, and I've done it both ways. I've used sit-down mowers, and this is just, for me, it's just the way to go. But what you'll see on these lawns is that there's not many obstacles. Most of the mowing, it is wide open. There's very minimal trimming to do. They're flat, they're not hilly. And again, I go back to how important it is to not have sidewalks, not have big corner lots, not have trinkets and stuff in the yard. It makes a huge difference. Yes, you can get away with if you have a few of those lawns on your schedule. You got to do those lawns, right? You're not going to have all perfect lawns. But I'm saying if you're going to focus your marketing efforts, focus your material on lawns like this. So this is another prime example here with a stander. You just go up to the fence, you unlock it, and then you just go right in it. Whereas with a sit-down mower, again, it might not seem like that big of a deal, but with a sit-down mower, you're having to, put the handles out to the side, get off the mower, open the gate, and then same thing, you get back on your mower, go through the gate, you cut this little area, and then whenever you come back out, what are you doing? You got to get off the mower again, close the gate. But with a stand-on mower, you can open and close those gates very easily. The other thing about this little back lawn right here, again, look, what is the common theme here? It's there's not hardly any trimming to do except for just the borders. And I'm not trying to cherry pick lawns for you. I just decided, well, hey, I'm out working with the crew today, trying to keep us caught up for the 4th of July. Let me just show like our typical average lawns whenever we're cooking on a really good day. I think we had 32 lawns on for this Wednesday, which that's a lot of lawns, and that's why I was kind of helping the guys out. But this is how we can get it done, these types of lawns. Okay, we got this one over here done, and then this one done. And if I had to guess, I think we're going to be around the 28-minute mark by the time I weed eated, edged, and blew the property's clean. But again, the key here is they're going fast because there's no sidewalks, just very open yards. I wanted to show y'all something real quick though. If you want an easy upsell on clients, whether it's pull pumps or AC units or whatever, this is always a maintenance nightmare. There's always weeds and stuff growing in here. So you can sell them on tacking up some metal edging, putting down some tarp, and then some of this number 57 gravel. It solves so many problems. One, it looks nicer. Two, it makes it so much easier for you to maintain it. and it is a fast upsell. Something like this, 500 bucks, 600 bucks. And it always looks like crap unless you get this done. It just cleans up the yard so much. We do those types of projects pretty frequently. If I see it and it needs to be addressed, I will go ahead and send an estimate over for that. Okay, so I actually finished up both of those yards in 34 minutes solo, okay? Those were small yards, no sidewalks again, so if we run the math. So I finished up both of those lawns in 34 minutes. That averages about 17 minutes a lawn, which is pretty normal for this neighborhood. Again, small lawns, wide open spaces, no sidewalks, so we can bang through them pretty quickly. So if we run the math on that with our formula price over time divided by 60, I got $50 for each of those lawns. So that would be $100 over time divided by 60. So 34 divided by 60. Let me do the math on that real quick and we'll see what 34, obviously it's gonna be a little over 0.5. Okay, so 0.567, so we take 100, which was our price for both of those lawns, divided by 0.567. So we're generating $176 a man hour for those two lawns right there, that's excellent. That's incredible. And my point being is that that's where the money is at in residential lawns, is small lawns that you can get in and out of. And that is how you easily hit the $1,000 a day mark doing these types of lawns. You say, John, well, that was only 2 lawns. Yeah, but I've got 4 more to do in here just like that. And guys, I did that in 34 minutes. So given I'm gonna take a couple little breaks in here, I'm gonna end up doing 6 lawns in about 2 hours is what it's gonna come out to. And I'm gonna walk out of here after 6 lawns with 300 bucks in 2 hours. And I've got several neighborhoods today that I'm gonna be going into and just pulling off 6 lawns, 6 lawns, 6 lawns. I'm just gonna do what I can. I'm trying to stay ahead of the schedule today. We got the 4th of July coming up. So I'm out here helping the guys. And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna make a video and show folks like, hey, this is how we do it. This is how we get really good rates on our lawns, because we target the right lawns, man. Okay, just pulled up to the next lawn and this is what we're looking at. Look how close these houses are together, dude. All right, there's no fence, there's no sidewalk. It's like 2 or 3 passes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the stopwatch going. I'll time this one. I'll come back in the truck and tell you what it took me. I'm not gonna rush, just do a normal time on it. And then we'll see what our per man hour rate is on this lawn. Hey, this guy just got out of his car. His lawn needs to be code. Let's go talk to him. Watch this. This guy right here. Watch this. Okay, so this guy, his roommate pays the bill. They're military. We got a lot of military in our area. The lawn, boop, 100% needs to be done. Definitely. Look at our client's lawn, how nice it looks. And you see their lawn, look at over there, kind of like it needs some work. The guy's getting in his vehicle. What's the difference? The difference is whenever I see somebody like that, I'm walking up and I'm freaking talking to him, man. That's how you get lawns. That's it. Like if you do the lawn that you're supposed to do and then just pull away, you're missing the freaking boat, man. Like you got to get out, you got to be proactive. So what's going to happen here, this guy's name is a very nice guy. His name is Connor. He said, hey, I don't pay the bills here. My roommate does. We're military. He takes care of the outside stuff. He's not taking care of the outside stuff. He said, please leave your card. I'll get it to him, and we would like to get something going. How about that? Okay, left them a postcard with a love letter on it. Hey, if you want that postcard, you can get that over at Turf Pros Academy. It's my best performing postcard. But anyways, my point being, you got to be proactive in here. On these lawns where like when these are your ideal lawns, and we said no sidewalks, inline lots, small lots, wide open, if that's your ideal lawn, you got to be intense on them. You got to go wide open on them. You can't just start going through the motions, cutting the lawn of the neighbor and just driving off and be like, well, why don't I have any route density? I did a every door direct mail campaign for the neighborhood, you know, put out 10,000, only got a few. No, dude, you got to do it over and over and over again, and you got to be really, really consistent with it. So that lawn was 13 minutes, as you saw, and honestly, that was moving the camera around a little bit, so it was probably a little less than that. But I got $50 for that lawn, so let's run the math on that price over time divided by 60. So our time divided by 60 would be 13 divided by 60. That gives us 0.2167. We're going to divide 0.2167 into our price, which is 50. So 50 divided by 0.2167. Shoo-wee! We're cooking. We are cooking right there. So theoretically, what that means is if you had 4 of those lawns right beside each other, boom, 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 all right, and you were doing 13 minutes average on it, what that means is that you are generating $230 in an hour if you can do 4 of those lawns. Now, do you see how a solo guy can make $1,000 a day mowing? It can be done, but the key is like, you have to be a surgeon with a scalpel. Like, you can't just go through your day and say, what? There's no way to make $1,000 a day. There's not. If you're driving off to location, doing 2 houses here, a house over here, maybe 3 over there, it's gonna eat up your day, man. You got to get really high margin lawns. You got to get them stacked beside each other, and you got to be relentless about adding more of them. All right, got to talk to people, got to be proactive. You want to know how to get rich mowing lawns? Well, mowing lawns is just by its nature pretty low margin. You got to be super strategic, like a surgeon with a scalpel, to make real good money mowing lawns. I'm showing you how you do it, man. I'm showing you how you do it.